Good morning. Happy Friday. Today we are going to review and label. So first, let's review what we've learned this week. We talked about how we're going to start how-to books and teach people how to do something, right? We talked about some things that we do every day that we sequence. Sequence means put in order. I showed you something I do every day. I make coffee. So I made coffee and I used our sequence words. Our sequence words are first, which can be the number 1 or the word first, second, third, and fourth. Because right now we're working with 4 steps. Sometimes 3, but usually 4 for right now. The other words we use is after we say first, sometimes I use the words next, then, and last. You also made videos. Thank you for making those videos. After that, we put our information into a graphic organizer. Graphic organizer is a visual, something we can see that helps us organize our thoughts. So we already know what we're doing. We know the sequence we do it, like when I make coffee. I already know how to make coffee. I know the sequence I do it. So then we put it in a graphic organizer to organize the thoughts. I said first I put in the water. Second or next, I put in the coffee. Third or then, I push the power button. Fourth or lastly, I pour the coffee into the cup and enjoy. Right? After I completed my graphic organizer, I put it into my new pages. Right? I told you we're using new pages for our how-to books. They're half the size, they have a smaller box, more lines, and they have a little box up here for the number of step or the number of page. For this purpose, we're putting the number of step. So first, I poured in water, right? So I took my number 1 box and I put it onto this paper. Next, I put in coffee. So I took my number 2 box and put it onto my second paper. Then I pushed the on button. So I took my number 3 box and I put it onto my paper. Fourth or last, I poured my hot cup of coffee. So I took my 4th box and put it onto my 4th sheet of paper. So here is my how-to book. Exciting, isn't it? Another book. So, next step is to label. When we draw our pictures, we need to make sure our readers understand what we're telling them. And one thing that helps is making sure our picture is nice and neat and also labeling it so they know what's in our picture. So, that is what we're doing today. Labeling our pictures. You ready? Good. Let's get started. Here's the first page of my How to Make Coffee how-to book. So, what we're doing today is labeling. What am I doing in the picture? I'm pouring water into the coffee maker. So, what do I need to label? Yeah, I need to label the coffee maker. So, what we can do is we can sound out the words coffee and maker. I'm going to use my hands to do that. I'm going to find the sounds and then find the letters. Coffee. K. E. Coffee. There's 4 sounds in coffee. What's the first sound? K. C. If you can only hear the first sound in the word coffee, that's fine. Just put the first sound, the letter C. As long as you try your best. So we have K. O. O makes ah. K. F. F makes f. K. A, F, E. E. Coffee. The next word is maker. A, K, Maker. First sound is I'm going to put maker down on the bottom because there's not much room here. A. A is the next letter. A, K, K. K makes K, like kangaroo. Okay. There's 4 sounds. Last sound is R. R. Okay, we have coffee maker. What else do we need to label? What's in this picture that we should label? We have coffee maker. Well, what am I using to pour the water? Yeah, I am using the pot, right? So another thing I can label in my picture, apart from the coffee maker, is the coffee pot. Instead of putting coffee pot, we're just going to put pot. So right over here, we're going to put pot. We're going to sound it out just like we did p, a, t, pot. P, p. P like parrot. P, a, ah. We already did ah. It's O. So we're going to put O right here. P, a, t, 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 t. T. Now we have pot. We labeled our pot, but what's coming out of the pot? Water. So we got to do water. So we're going to put water over here because there's not much room over here since we already put coffee maker and pot. Let's sound it out. Water. W, a, t, 4 sounds. First sound. W, w, w. W. Water. W, ah. Oh, we know that sound, right? We already did it twice. Ah, O. W, ah, t, t, t. Oh, we did this sound too. It's at the end of pot. T. What? W, ah, t. Is the last sound we hear. R. Oh, there's a lot of room between my word and the water. So what I'm going to do so my readers know what's labeled is I'm going to draw an arrow pointing at what I'm labeling. Water. Yep, here's the water. What else I can do, the other thing I can do to show that it's water is color it blue, right? When we see water in pictures, the water is usually blue. So I'm going to color my water blue. So I labeled my 3 most important things on my page. Water, pot, and the coffee maker. Now for page 2. I'm going to actually use my first page to help me label my second page. So here's my first page and my second page. Okay. So what am I doing in my second page picture? Do you remember? I have my coffee maker and I'm putting coffee inside. I already labeled coffee maker on my first page, so I'm just going to copy it right down. Coffee, C-O-F-E, maker, M-A-K-R, maker, coffee maker. What else do I need to label? The pot. Yeah, I put the pot back, so I should label the pot. Now, what's this? Coffee. I put the coffee in my second step. So I got to label it coffee. Coffee is in coffee maker, right? So I already wrote the word coffee. I'm going to copy it right down. C-O-F-E. Coffee. All right, I'm done with my second page. Now moving on to my third page. This is the page where I turned on the coffee maker, right? I pressed the on button. So I need to label that. I'm going to label it up here. On. On. Well, we know that one. We've written it a few times today. Oh. N. On. I'm going to draw an arrow to show that it's the button that I'm labeling. Not the coffee maker, but the button. You see that? All right. Now, we still need to label our coffee maker, right? Yeah, so I'm going to label coffee maker again. I've already labeled it twice, so I know how to spell it, and I can just copy it down. I'll label it over here. C-O-F-E, coffee maker, M-A-K-R. All right. And my final step, my last step. In my last step, I am pouring the hot coffee into my mug, right? So I should label, again, the pot. Pot. And I got to label my coffee, right? C-O-F-E. And where's the coffee going? In my mug. So I got to label the mug. Let's see. Let's sound it out. G. Mug. 3 sounds. M. Like umbrella. U makes a. G. G like goat or girl. Mug. All right, those are the 3 important things in here, and that was my final step. So let's take a look and make sure everything I need labeled is labeled for my readers so that they understand what I'm doing. Let's see. So in the first step, I'm pouring water from the pot into my coffee maker. Second step is to put the coffee into my coffee maker. Third step is that I need to press the on button, right, onto my coffee maker, on the coffee maker. And my final step was when the coffee's all done, I pour the coffee out of my pot into my mug. Do I have everything labeled that I need labeled? Yes. Good job. All right, now it's your turn to label your pages. Parents, I model sounding words out and writing them, but it's the beginning of kindergarten still. We're only in the 2nd quarter. Your KK may not be there quite yet, all right? We just want them to hear the sounds and put any sounds down, any letters down that they can. So it may look like this. If they're labeling a flower and they can only hear the F sound, the beginning sound, that's okay. So if they only write an F, that's okay, that's good. That means we know that they can hear a beginning sound and write the letter for it. If they can only hear the last sound, because that happens too, and they put a letter for that last sound, that's good. Sometimes they just aren't ready yet, okay? And that's okay. We have not explicitly taught all the letters yet. So if they're not able to hear all the sounds and write them, that is perfectly fine. If they're just writing random letters, that's okay. It tells us they know what labeling is. They may not know all the letters or the sounds, but they know what labeling is. Sometimes they may just look like this. Squiggles, or maybe O, 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 or X, 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 X. Again, that is fine. It shows us that they know what labeling is. Please don't correct their work. Please don't tell them what to write because we need to know where they're at, all right? We need to know what they understand, okay? So please label your work, your pictures the best you can, and we can't wait to see your work. There are examples on Seesaw, so make sure you click the Seesaw link to submit your work. Have a good weekend.